Hi, Andrew Main here, and I'm going to show you my latest creation for the iPhone and the iPod Touch available in the iTunes App Store. It's called Ghost Vision. And although it shares a name with a magic trick I created, this is not a trick. It's legitimate. Well, as legitimate as anything involving the paranormal can be. Now, as a skeptic, I don't really believe in things like ghosts. I'm willing to be shown, but I'm not inclined to accept that these things are true. But I find these things fascinating. That's why I have weirdthings.com. That's why I do the podcast with Justin Robert Young and Brian Brushwood about weird things, because we're all interested in this stuff. I decided to try and create a tool that I, as a skeptic, would find interesting. Now, I know there's EVP detectors and there's EMF stuff, but the problem is those things give you a ton of false positives. They give you a lot of reason to think something's taking place, but they're not. So I based mine on an actual piece of technology that's used in paranormal laboratories where they try to detect unusual phenomenon. What it is, it's an RNG, or a random number generator. And so it creates a bunch of data based upon that. And if something's trying to influence it, it has a way of displaying this that might spook you out. Now I'll show you the first thing here is the radar. And what this is going to do, it's going to chart a bunch of points on an XY graph. Now about 1 out of 20 times, you'll get a really high ping, which you can see in the frequency area there. So what you want to look for here is a cluster. If something was trying to influence this, it might try and put a bunch of points in the same area, which you can just touch and circle them like that. Now after about 30 seconds, each one of these points will fade away. If you get a really, really high frequency ping, it'll make a really loud noise and make a bigger dot. If you get a bunch of those, something spooky, there you go, there was one of them, something spooky is taking place. That happens, it's time to call an exorcist or a mathematician. Now let me show you one of the other tools on here. Let's say you think there's something in the room. You use the imager. Press the imager and it's going to create an image from random pixels. Now, I can't promise you you're going to see anything in there, although if you stare at it long enough, you might see anything. So this is forming each one of those pixels. It's totally random, so if something can influence this, this would be the way for it to send you a picture. It's not the most high resolution image, but hey, we're working with supernatural forces. What do you expect? They're pretty lo-fi. So there you go. I don't know what you can see in there. I don't know. I think I see a Koopa from Mario Brothers there, but maybe that's just me. Now you can click refresh to try it again, or go to menu and bring up another one of the tools. So another one here is the PK meter. Now let me explain what this does. Let's say you have a room or a building or someplace you think there is a force that's knocking stuff down and you want to find out if there's something in there. You turn on the PK meter and you lay your iPhone flat. Turn up the volume or plug it into your speaker system, and anytime something moves the iPhone or touches the screen, you're going to hear a noise. Let me turn this on and you'll see what I mean. Now by holding it upright, I just created a ping. If I shake it, I get more. Don't have to move it a lot, just a slight tilt, and it starts creating a bunch of pings like that. Now, if something were to touch the screen, well, that's a pretty significant thing to have happen, and that'll make a really loud noise. So that's the PK meter. One of my favorite tools on here is the A to Z, or the alphabetizer. Let's say something wants to communicate with you verbally. How would it do that? Well, we would use this. And what it's going to do, it's going to create a random grid of letters. And maybe something will try to communicate with you by spelling something out. And the first time I did this, it spelled out a very obscene 4-letter word, which was very amusing, which was random, I'm hoping, but disturbing nonetheless. So let me see, I see, oh, that's not polite, I see the word pig there. Sometimes you'll see friends' names. You'll get a lot of 3-letter words or 4-letter words. Not so many 5-letter words, but if something's really trying to communicate with you, who knows what you might see there. So I've got pig, I've got bus, I've got mod, I've got a bunch of words that don't really mean much to me, but who knows. You give another shot and something else comes up there. So all these tools, for the most part, you just click refresh and it'll create a new sequence right in front of your very eyes. So this is another cool thing to do with a bunch of friends. Look, it's patriotic. It just said USA. You show this late at night and you see what you can see. Now, it's totally random unless, of course, something is trying to influence it. Well, then, it can't help you. Now, another cool tool on here is a simple one for asking a question. So let's say it's spelled out words and you want to find out information from it. You click on yes, no. So if you want to ask if they're going to be an American Idol winner, well, yes, there will be an American Idol winner. You heard it here, folks. Click that again. Yes, it's reaffirming that. Click on menu and we go to the arrow. The arrow is another cool tool. Click on that, and it's going to spin around and stop at some totally random point unless something is forcing its hand. And now it's pointing up that way, which I don't know what's there. Should I be concerned? So that is the Ghost Vision viewer. If you click on instructions, it explains everything here, and you can click through there. It's actually, there you go. You can see all the instructions you need to know. Every time you start up, the instructions will be there, and it'll tell you how all the tools work. It's a lot of fun. It's meant purely as entertainment, but listen, something spooky's going on, you need all the help you can get. And then you need to tell us at weirdthings.com.